Good evening. This is Kask Jackson. I'm the founder of Restoring Freedom. I am a 20-year United States Navy veteran, recently retired. I went through a divorce over a year ago, where during that divorce, the mother was awarded sole custody. I spent over $40,000 on attorneys. The judge who oversaw the custody portion awarded the mother full custody. My attorney didn't even fight for joint custody for me, even though I told him to. As a matter of fact, he even said to me, "What makes you think you deserve joint custody?" They set a child support order on me, where if you're not familiar with Illinois child support, it works like this. So they take 28% of net income, and then the judge has the discretion to add on 50% of child care plus 50% of extracurricular activities. So that's in addition to the 28% of net income. So I have an older son from my first marriage that I'm supposed to pay $500 a month for in child support, which I had consistently paid for nearly 14 years without missing any payments. Nearly 14 years, I had never missed a payment until they put this child support order in place, at which point in time I could no longer afford that $500 a month, plus them taking out $1,160 a month from my military paycheck, plus being required to reimburse my second ex-wife for 50% of extracurricular activities, not to exceed $4,000 per year, as well as she was averaging over $1,000 a month in childcare. So in sum total, my child support has been averaging since November of last year over $2,500 a month. And there's no way I could pay that, even with $70,000 a year that I was making on active duty. So now I'm due to be incarcerated in 17 days here in the county of Lake in Northeast Illinois in the 19th Judicial Circuit. The judge who oversees the case is Judge Joseph Salvi. Which is why I initially founded Restoring Freedom. I founded Restoring Freedom to defend families and children against constitutional and human rights infringement in any manner or capacity that I see that in this country. So some people think that they saw me out in Standing Rock, and they think that I use Standing Rock as a platform to only further my own agenda or cause. And I've said it before, I would be a liar if I said that I didn't have some self-interest in going into Standing Rock. I did. Because, number one, I saw that what was occurring in Standing Rock, they were infringing upon constitutional rights. And again, I founded Restoring Freedom prior to going to Standing Rock. I founded Restoring Freedom because I saw that family law was just one snippet of what was occurring in our country. And I couldn't stop with just addressing what was happening in family law when there was other constitutional and human rights infringements all across our country. And in order for, if I wanted people to empathize with what was happening to us in family court, I needed to make sure that I was reaching out and supporting other people in this country. and their plights and what was happening to them. I could not, in good conscience, expect other people to want to support me in my cause in family law reform if I wasn't willing to step out first as a leader and say, let me support other people, other organizations, and what's happening in their lives and what's personally affecting them and what's affecting their families. I felt that I had that duty to do that. So this is for people who don't really know me or what I'm about, because I've had people message me that, basically, I don't know, I guess they feel slighted that I don't only speak about Standing Rock and I don't only speak about family law reform. I've gotten it from both sides, from those in the family law reform movement who were initially upset that I went to Standing Rock and didn't feel I had any place out there. And then whenever I came back and I back through the court process again, and I'm working on my case, and now I'm due to be incarcerated in 17 days. Then I have people from Standing Rock badgering me because I'm talking about family law reform. So let me make it clear on who I am. I'm a United States Navy veteran. I swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So anywhere I see constitutional and human rights infringement, I will take up that cause. When I see that, I will take up that cause to the best of my ability and try and bring awareness to that, to show our country it's okay to stand up and to fight back and to, to stand alongside your fellow man and what their struggles are. And I know that I don't owe anybody an explanation. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to make sure people understand who I am and what I'm about. That's what it's for, and it's kind of my countdown. I'm going to do one of these every night until January 20th, my court date. So January 20th at 9 a.m., I am due in the Lake County Courthouse in Waukegan, Illinois, in courtroom 105. So if you plan on attending, please come. Love to have you guys there. Anybody who's willing to come and attend, please do. And inauguration day. Pretty funny, huh, Dee Dee? Closest airports are Chicago O'Hare and Milwaukee and Midway Airport. Those would be the three closest. And so if you want to come, please do. I wish I had more room in my home to put you guys up. I could put up maybe a couple people. I got a room for a couple. Not a lot. I've got kind of a small house. But, I don't mind, throwing up a cot or two and making some room. So if some people wanted to come and support, that'd be awesome. And, I hope people know that I'm not some father who's just doesn't want to pay child support. For those people who really don't know who I am, I know most of you know me and you know what I'm about and what I stand for. So this is more so towards, those people who don't know me and they don't know what I'm about. I'm not just some disgruntled, pissed off dad who doesn't want to pay child support. I'm a disgruntled, pissed off American and a father who wants to raise my children, who wants to not be alienated from my children, who wants to have my constitutional rights and my children's constitutional rights protected so that I can be in their lives full time, so that I can help to raise and mentor and guide my children in the way and the belief system that I have, not in what the court system has, but how I see fit to raise my children, absent the interference of the court system in the state of Illinois. I don't agree with the states profiting off taking our children from us so that they can initiate a child support order so that they can receive federal funding through Title 4D of the Social Security Act to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars every single year. I'm not okay with my children being used as a pawn so that the state of Illinois can add money to their general fund. That's what I'm not okay with. I'm not okay with forcing good moms and dads out of the lives of their children, and crooked attorneys and judges badgering us and degrading us and talking down to us and putting us through this ringer as though we're criminals, and we've never been charged with a crime. The only crime that we have is that we want to love and cherish and be parents to our children. That shouldn't be criminalized in our country. You shouldn't have to spend your life savings to stay in your children's lives. You shouldn't be bankrupted to stay in your kids' lives. You know, we have allowed for far too long the United States government and state governments to exploit us, to extort us, to intimidate us into fear, into thinking that we don't possess any power or authority as citizens in this country. They have manipulated the system so that we as a society believe that we hold no power or authority over the state and over the judicial system. That is absolutely a false way of thinking. And they've done that intentionally to intimidate you and to instill fear in you against speaking out. I'm here to show you and to stand for what I believe in, and what many of you believe in, is that you cannot back down. You cannot remain silent to an oppressive, tyrannical government, whether that is the judiciary, the executive, or the legislative. They do not have the authority to legislate away God-given, constitutionally protected rights. And that's what we have permitted them to do. So if I get locked up in 17 days, then so be it. I get locked up in 17 days. But I'm going to fight tooth and nail to continue to raise awareness and to try and bring solutions to the problems in this country. Whether that's out in Standing Rock, or whether that is family law right here in Lake County, Illinois, or whether that is police brutality, or you name it. Whatever I see, if I see it, I'm going to call it. And Restoring Freedom will be an organization that addresses those issues in this country. We're going to incorporate and build an organization that brings people together, that unites cultures, citizens, and our backgrounds and our commonalities and what we possess as human beings and citizens in this country to strengthen who we are, so that the government will know and that they will understand that the American people will no longer tolerate what they've been doing to us any longer in this country. We must have men and women who are willing to stand and fight alongside one another, to set aside differences, no matter what those may be. We must set those aside, look at these issues in our country, and begin to take charge. It's our country. Okay? It's not the legislators. It's not the judges. It's not the attorneys. It's not the congressmen. This is our country. When the duly elected representatives fail to represent the people in the manner in which they demand and that they deserve, in accordance with the Bill of Rights, in accordance with the Constitution, in accordance with God's and natural law, when they fail to do that, it is incumbent upon us as people and as citizens to rectify the wrongs that are being committed. That is our job. We must come together and stand together to do this. So in 17 days, I will go to the Lake County Courthouse in my dress blue uniform and full medals, prepared to be incarcerated into a debtor's prison, which was outlawed over 100 years ago. I'm going to fight to try and make sure that doesn't happen. But if that's what takes place, because that's what God has willed, well, then that's what takes place. But I fully expect that it's just going to be fuel to the fire that will change this country. I hope that you guys are going to stand with me. Whether you can be here January 20th or not, I think we're going to create an event page for the event. And maybe the day before, to flood the courthouse with phone calls, to flood the state's attorney's office with phone calls, to let them know that what they're doing to citizens in this country will no longer be tolerated. That we're not asking them, we are telling them that we will no longer tolerate the exploitation of our children for profit in this country. That we will no longer tolerate the financial destruction, the emotional and mental rape of parents simply because they just want to still be parents to their children. You guys have been a blessing to me, and I thank you guys so much for all your moral support, what you guys bring to me. For the haters, well, keep on hating, because I'm going to keep on doing what I do. So, I love you guys. You guys be blessed. Have a wonderful evening. I'm going to enjoy my wonderful meal that was prepared by my wonderful Marina. And tomorrow night, I'll do another one, because tomorrow we'll be at 16 days until lockup. So, you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll be talking with you guys soon.